Hello travelers, I'm Chris, welcome to Lore Spire. Today we'll be taking a look at all of the Sword of Heaven and Angelic Halo abilities from the Angel Mythic Path in Wrath of the Righteous. If you haven't seen my video breakdown of the Angel Mythic Path yet, there is a link in the description so you can check that out. Timestamps are also in the description if you want to skip ahead. Let's get started. First, let's take a look at what the base Sword of Heaven ability does. It is an activated ability that lasts for 1 minute. This ability allows you to imbue your weapons with holy power, which makes it deal an additional 2d6 holy damage per hit. Spells and abilities used while holding an imbued weapon deal an additional 2 dice of damage or heal an additional 2 dice of damage. All of the improved Sword of Heaven abilities listed add their effects to any weapon imbued with power from your Sword of Heaven ability. You can choose 2 of these improved Sword of Heaven abilities by Mythic Rank 6. The first improved Sword of Heaven ability is Abolish Disease. Your weapon now grants immunity to disease and any healing spells you cast remove all diseases from the target as well as the fatigued, exhausted, sickened, and nauseated conditions. Creatures that apply disease on attack or that are closely associated with diseases suffer an additional 50% damage as holy damage from you. Next is Abolish Guile. Your weapon now grants immunity to compulsion effects, and healing spells you cast now remove all mind-affecting effects from the target. Creatures that commonly use compulsion suffer an additional 50% damage as holy damage from you. Abolish Poison. Your weapon now grants poison immunity. Healing spells you cast remove all poisons from the target and heals all ability drain. Creatures that apply poison on attack or that are otherwise closely linked to poison suffer an additional 50% damage as holy damage from you. Abolish Undeath. Your weapon now grants you immunity to death effects and energy drain. Healing spells you cast remove paralysis and all negative levels from the target. Undead creatures suffer an additional 50% damage as holy damage from you. Bestow the Divine. You can now use your Sword of Heaven ability on the weapon of any creature. The angel can only imbue the weapons of one creature at a time. Everlasting Flame. Your Sword of Heaven ability now lasts for 1 minute per mythic rank. Grand Blessing. Additional damage and healing from Sword of Heaven are now maximized. Guide the Faithful. Attacks from your imbued weapon now mark the target for 1 minute, making them visible and giving them a -40 penalty to all stealth checks and a -4 penalty to armor class. The next 3 abilities are Greater Sword of Heaven abilities, of which the Angel can take 2 by Mythic Rank 10. You may also choose to take Improved Sword of Heaven abilities instead of Greater Sword of Heaven abilities. Heavenly Host. You can grant your Sword of Heaven enhancement to all allies within a 50-foot radius. The Improved Sword of Heaven ability, Bestow the Divine, is a prerequisite to take Heavenly Host. If not for that, I would call this the best ability in this video. But now it essentially takes 2 Sword of Heaven ability spots since Bestow the Divine is not only terrible, but it's also useless once you get Heavenly Host. Overwhelming Flames. Attacks from your imbued weapon now deal weapon damage to all enemies within 5 feet. Speed of Light. You gain effects similar to a haste spell, granting you 2 additional attacks and making all spells level 7 or lower quickened. Quickened spells are cast as a swift action, allowing you to attack, use items, or even cast a second spell in the same round you cast a quickened spell. Spells that take more than 1 round or are full round cannot be quickened. Definitely awesome, and probably the best of these Sword of Heaven abilities in my opinion. Angelic Halo is a passive ability that can be toggled on or off. It affects each ally within 50 feet of the angel, giving them a bonus equal to half of the angel's mythic rank +1 to AC and saving throws against attacks made or effects created by evil creatures. All of the improved Angelic Halo abilities add their effects to the angel's Angelic Halo while it is active. You can select 2 of these abilities by mythic rank 7. Our first improved Angelic Halo ability is Blinding Light. An enemy that attacks the angel the first time in a round must pass a fortitude saving throw or be blinded for 1d4 + 1 rounds. If the saving throw is successful, the enemy is instead dazzled for 1 minute. Next, we have Burning Bright. All demons and undead creatures within 50 feet suffer 2d6 plus mythic rank points of holy damage each round. Flame of Life. Whenever an ally suffers damage, it receives an amount of fast healing equal to the angel's mythic rank for 1 round. Piercing Rays. Enemies within 50 feet suffer a penalty to spell resistance equal to 1 plus the angel's mythic rank, as well as a penalty to all saving throws equal to half the penalty to spell resistance. Unfailing Beacon. You don't suffer any damage from allies' area of effect spells. If the angel is within the range of an ally's area of effect spell, it becomes empowered, increasing all variable numeric effects of the spell by half, including bonuses to dice rolls. Also, the DC of the saving throws against these AoE spells is increased by 2. The angel has some really powerful abilities here. The use of Heavenly Host to extend your Sword of Heaven abilities to the entire party just seems OP. Also, Unfailing Beacon may be a little less practical, but it's a heck of a lot of fun. You've got to try it. So which of these abilities do you like most, and which are you planning to use with your angel build? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe while you're there. I really appreciate it, and it helps me out a ton. This has been Chris with Lorespire. Thanks for your time, and may you travel well, my friend.